What if I told you that the sun, the moon, the seasons, plants, animals, and even our own bodies are all following the exact same cycle? Understanding the cycle they all follow is the key to getting back in touch with nature and remembering your magic. Hello, my name is Sian. I'm a practicing witch and a Norse pagan. If this is your first time seeing me, welcome to my channel. I'm here as your guide to help you journey inwards and find your magic. Today is the first episode in my new series, The Beginner Witch's Grimoire. This series is a guide for new witches wanting to learn the basics of the craft and to inspire the first few pages of your own grimoire. This first episode will be exploring arguably the most foundational aspect of witchcraft, cycles. There are many different elements to witchcraft, and it can be really overwhelming for new witches. The first thing a lot of us are met with are the elaborate rituals and spell workings, and it can make you feel like you really have to start using energy manipulation straight away in order to be able to call yourself a witch. Before any of that, we need to understand what energy and magic actually is. This isn't an exact rule, but I do think that it really helps to set that foundation of your practice. Realistically, I don't think there are any rules or regulations when it comes to witchcraft. Witchcraft is a practice and it's a craft, and just like any craft, you are free to explore it in any way you choose to. If you want to follow what other people have done, that's great, but you might want to create something that is completely unique to you and nobody's ever tried it before. And both of these options are completely valid magical practices. A big reason for me wanting to create this channel is to help you find your magic and to create your own individual practice. With that being said, I think that cycles is a fantastic place for you to start the foundations of your practice. It's also a really good gateway to explore many other aspects of witchcraft, like lunar witchcraft, green witchcraft, elemental witchcraft. Some of the knowledge in cycles can really help you get a baseline knowledge for the rest of those things. You also might not want to follow any specific path or not know which path you want to follow just yet, in which case understanding this flow of energy of life and death can give you something to tap into before we start looking into energy manipulation and all that type of stuff. So let's get into the cycle. The four main stages of the cycle are spring and birth, summer and growth, autumn and maturity, and winter and death. I'm also going to add in an extra here and talk a bit at the end about the cycle as a whole. Now let's start by looking into the first stage of spring and birth. In life, this first stage is birth. In seasons, it is spring. The time of day is sunrise. The moon phase is the waxing moon. The stage of growing is planting seeds. For animals, this is the stage of reproduction. And for women, this is the follicular stage in our menstrual cycle. So this first stage is all about newness and starting. It's about new life, new ideas, and gently building energy. The element that I associate with this stage is air, and the direction I associate with it is the east. I want to specify that these are what I personally associate with this stage. Other cultures, beliefs, or practices might have different associations. So please feel free to work with whatever associations feel right for you. Energies and themes associated with this stage are beginnings, thoughts, ideas, plans, and communication. This part of the cycle is when things slowly start to come back to life after a restful and healing winter. It's when animals reproduce, when seeds are sown, and when you see that first bit of morning light at sunrise. When we think of life, this is when you are born, when everything is new and fresh and there's everything around you to be learnt. Think about spring and all of the things that come along with it. Babies being born, sprouts coming out of the ground, and all of the youthful pastel coloured flowers. This is a really youthful and hopeful time. This is a stage of starting new things, maybe starting a new project or a new relationship. It's a time that we associate with spring cleaning, where we clear out things to have space to grow and to create. This is a time for coming up with ideas and making plans. It doesn't mean that this is the only time that you can make ideas, that you can only have ideas and make plans in the spring or in a waxing moon. But this cycle can also be connected to projects. It just means that this time of the project is the birth aspect of the project, the time of making plans and making ideas, and the rest of the project will follow the rest of the cycle. This stage is also great for learning and education. Think of a baby and how much they learn in those early stages of life. To connect with this energy, think start, plan, learn. Some magical workings that can align well with this energy are things like fertility, new projects, new relationships, fresh starts, decision making, planting seeds of ideas or goals. To enhance any of these workings, you can bring in some energies connected with this stage. So this could look like doing your workings on a spring equinox or a waxing moon, or even at sunrise. You can also work with symbols that connect to the energy of this stage. So maybe something like a sprouting seed or a picture of a baby chick, maybe some blossoms from a blossom tree. There are many ways you can add things into your spell work to enhance your workings, but that's something that we're going to look deeper into in future videos. This is just for a bit of a reference. Moving on to the next stage, we come to summer and growing. This is the stage of growth, summer, midday sun, the full moon, nurturing crops, expansion for animals such as foraging, nurturing their young, and expanding territory, and the ovulation phase of a woman's menstrual cycle. The second stage is about developing and making things happen. It's about creating something strong, and it's a time of peak activity. The element and direction that I associate with this stage are fire and the south. The associated energies and themes are taking action, energy, passion, creating, and expression. At this stage of the cycle, we are in full motion. Animals and humans are exploring their independence, flowers are blooming, and you can feel the heat of the midday sun on your face. For humans, this is a time when we no longer need our parents, where we can make our own moves and bring things about by our own actions. It's a time of doing and busyness and everyone bustling around. That's animals, plants, and humans alike. In the more agricultural times, this is when people would be working on the land and tending to their animals. The energy is exciting, passionate, and fun. This is the stage for putting in the work, for channeling that heightened energy into something creative and productive. The energy is go, go, go. It's the time for taking the ideas and plans that we made in the spring stage and putting them into action. It's also a time for tuning into that energy and passion, going out on dates, nurturing relationships, exploring new places, traveling, starting new hobbies, socializing. Think about expanding your mind with new places and new people. It's also a good time for physical activity and for nurturing your body with healthy foods and healthy practices. To connect to this energy, think do, create, expand. Some workings connected to this stage are success, luck, travel, happiness, love, financial growth. We can bring in the energies of this stage by working with the sun and that daytime energy. The midday sun is going to be most potent, but working with the sun in any stage is going to be really good. You could also do your workings on the summer solstice or during a full moon or maybe a full supermoon. Some symbols that you could use to enhance this energy can be things like blooming flowers, berries, and animals like bees. Moving on to the third stage, we have autumn and maturity. Now we move into maturity, autumn, sunset, the moon's waning phase, harvest. Animals focus on provisioning, and the luteal phase of a woman's menstrual cycle. This third stage is about reaping what we have sown and making preparations. It's about reflecting on previous parts of a cycle and gradually slowing down energy. The element and direction that I associate with this stage is earth and the west. And the energy and themes associated with this stage are reaping rewards, the physical body, the physical environment, reflection, and abundance. At this stage in the cycle, we start to see the results of our effort from the summer stage, and we start to prepare for winter. The animals are collecting and hoarding the abundance around them. The plants are now filled with berries and nuts and seeds, and you can see these pink tones in the sky as the sun starts to set on the horizon. It's a time in our lives when we move into our more mature, wiser years. We still have plenty of life and vigour in us, but we have the wisdom of our past successes and failures to help guide our actions moving forwards. This is also largely a time of harvest. And although there is a sense of the energy slowing down, we're not talking about inaction. The animals are still hard at work, collecting all their things and making provisions for the winter. The people in the fields are harvesting all of their many crops. Think of all those earthy tones, those oranges and browns and reds and yellows. It indicates that everything is ready to shed and return back to the earth. This is a time of fullness, coziness, and gratitude. This is the stage for harvesting and reflecting, for taking a look back over our previous actions and seeing what they have resulted in. Society loves the hustle. It loves the energy of the first two stages of creating and bringing things about. But here is where it starts to lose the support. But the energies of this stage and the next stage are vital to this flow of energy and life. And when we don't take into consideration the importance of what it means to slow down and to reflect and prepare for quieter times, we start to get overworked and overwhelmed. We need this space to revel in our successes and to see that our efforts that we put in actually can bring about abundance. We also need this time for reflecting on what did work and what didn't work, a space to embody the wisdom that we have gained. This stage might not sound as fun or exciting as the previous two stages, but it brings a level of balance, a level of softness and quietness and maturity to the very intense and youthful energies of the previous two stages. This stage is great for working on your home, for fixing anything in preparation for winter. It's also a great time for working on your finances and kind of managing those and getting those in order. It's a time for doing things in the home and preparing, things like cooking, baking, or maybe making any food preparations like pickling stuff ready for the winter and the colder months. It's also a good time for reflecting on actions and outcomes and for sharing the abundance that you have with the people around you. To connect with this energy, think harvest, reflect, prepare. Magical workings that align well with this stage are abundance, letting go, wisdom, health, stability, and anything to do with the home. You could connect with these energies by doing your workings on the autumn equinox or the waning moon or sunset. And you can welcome in animals and objects here around this autumn energy, so things like pumpkins, acorns, squirrels. And you can also bring in that harvest and abundance energy with bringing in things like berries and seeds and coins. And now we move to the final stage of the cycle, winter and death. The final stage of life is, of course, death. We have winter, midnight, the dark or new moon. Farmers allow the land to rest. Animals move into hibernation. And this is when a woman would menstruate or bleed. This fourth stage is about endings and recovery. It's about stopping action and turning inwards. The element and direction that I associate with this stage is water and the north. The associated energies and themes are rest, emotions, intuition, healing, and relationships. At this stage, activity comes to a close and everything either returns to the earth or returns back indoors. Animals slow right down and move into hibernation. Trees have shed their leaves and those leaves go back into the earth to nourish it, ready for the next cycle. And it's that point at night where everything is dark and quiet and everyone is asleep and you can just feel that stillness. In a human life, this is the point of our very old age, where we transition into death. It's the time when we give back our wisdom to the younger generations and eventually give back our bodies to the earth. This is a time of returning to the safety of our homes and returning to the safety of ourselves. It's a time for replenishing all of the energy that we have spent in the past 3 stages of the cycle. Nature is quiet and cold. She knows the importance of this stage because without it, she can't be reborn again as the cycle starts over. This is a quiet and replenishing time. This is the stage for rest, recovering, and healing. It's not a time for doing or taking action other than to keep yourself nourished and warm and alive. Up until this point, we have started new ideas, we've put energy into bringing those ideas into creation, and we've reaped the rewards from those actions. And now is the time to take a breather and rest. As with the previous autumn phase, society does not value this stage of rest and recovery. When we finish one project, society wants us to get back up and keep going again, again and again. In reality, we all need this stage of rest. Nature needs this stage of rest, and we can't have the activity without the rest. And in polarity as well, too much of the rest without the action is also bad for us and leads to bad mental health, bad physical health, etc. When we don't take this stage of replenishing our energy, that's what can leave us burnt out and exhausted, which a lot of us are. So I really want to bring some importance to this stage. Not that this stage is more important than the rest of the stages, but that this is something that we really leave out in our day-to-day normal lives, especially in society, and it's something that I think we really need to make sure that we're including in part of our year and our life and our days. As we move away from the doing energy, we have space to turn inwards and turn into ourselves, to listen to our intuition and to listen to what it is that we need. It's a time for nourishing our minds and our bodies and our spirits, for healing the parts of ourselves that are calling for our love and our care. It's also a good time for connecting with our immediate families too. And I'm not talking here about going out and doing big social events, but think about the people that you live with, or if you don't live with people, the people that are closest to you, your real immediate family, making sure that you are nourishing those very close, important connections to you. To connect to this energy, think slow down, nourish, and recover. Magical workings you can think about here, especially connecting to that darker energy, are protection, healing, banishing, cleansing, divination, rebirth, and hearth magic. You can align with this stage by working with the winter solstice or the dark or new moon, and just by connecting to that night energy in general. So because of this dark stage and this dark energy, this can be a really good time to work with the moon in any phase, just working with that moon energy. You can also welcome in symbols like snow, or any animals that are nocturnal, or animals that typically hibernate like bears. And now finally, we're going to talk a bit about the cycle as a whole. As I mentioned before, the importance and true magic of the cycle is all of its elements coming together as one. No stage is more important or less important than another, and any aspect that's neglected puts everything else out of balance. Nature needs rest just as much as it needs action. It needs action just as much as it needs rest. And from that we can see that life needs death and death needs life. All are needed and all are natural. Just as each stage has its own associations, so does the whole. It is the element of spirit, the point of center in the compass. It represents a full day, a full year, a full life. It is connected to presence, higher connection, magic, and experience as a whole. With this, we see that we need this whole cycle to connect to magic, to connect to the magic inside of us and to connect to the magic outside of us. This does not mean that our magical practice needs to have a balance of all of these aspects, or even that it needs to really include any of these aspects at all if you don't want it to. But the understanding does allow you to understand that flow of energy and magic. I also hope that it encourages you to notice that that change is okay, and it's okay to change your magical practice. You might be really drawn to one aspect of this cycle or of just magical practice or energy in general, and it's okay to allow that to change and flow as you change and flow, as your life changes, as the things that you want to bring about change. Change is natural. Change is normal. We seem to have been led to believe that change is a scary or a bad thing, that keeping things the same is safe. Realistically, this just isn't true. Sameness is stuck. Sameness is artificial. If you really want to get back to nature and to your magic, start by embracing change, embracing the ebb and flow of everything around you and of everything in nature. By moving with the flow of the seasons, with the phases of the moon, with the hormonal changes in our own body, we bring ourselves back to nature and back to the natural cycle of living. And that is where we begin to find our magic. Thank you so much for being here today. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more magical content from me, please like and subscribe. I hope you have a magical week, and I will see you in the next one.